Okay, it's kind of weird. I guess I'm liking these videos in the car, mostly because I always have a lot of time in the car. I have about an hour to get home, so it's an hour of driving on the beautiful roads in California. Just got done with an appointment. I'm getting ready to drive back to my home. My wife wants me to pick up something from Urban Jack's. She's ordering a salad, a chicken salad, and then I'll probably go to Del Taco and grab her a Coke too. So anyway, this video is about why I'm banned from Ozempic. First off, I'd like to say that I liked Ozempic. When I first started taking it, which was about 6 months ago, I really liked it. I didn't have to take the metformin at the time, which is what I was taking in the morning and the evening. And then also, I ended up losing about 25 pounds almost immediately and effortlessly. I just wasn't hungry. Some of the things I noticed, though, is that I wasn't using the restroom. I wasn't going poops. And I'm a pretty regular guy, but it got to the point where sometimes I wouldn't go for a couple of days, and sometimes I wouldn't go for 3 days. And so that would kind of get me a little scared, because I didn't know, should I take a stool softener or what should I take? And in terms of the reason I was taking it for type 2 diabetes, it really did help. It was nice because I could take it once a week rather than one tablet in the morning, one tablet in the evening, which is what I was doing. So it was back on November 30th. We were taking a flight to Ohio, Columbus. And I always like to take a straight flight if possible, but this time it just wasn't possible. We were going to have a layover in Las Vegas. So we got there 5 o'clock in the morning. I had taken my Ozempic prior the day before. And probably the last 2 times I took it, I had some serious stomach aches. The previous 2 weeks. So I took it the day before. Everything was normal. My brother-in-law and sister-in-law took us to the airport. I think we were leaving at 5. So we got to the airport. Everything was cool. I felt fine. And we checked in on the plane. It was a 1-hour flight. And so as we're flying along, I felt good all the time. I didn't feel bad at all. I hadn't eaten anything, but we were planning on grabbing something when we went to Vegas for that layover. So then about 40 minutes into a 1-hour flight, I started to get this sensation that was like, I think I'm gonna throw up. And after a while, I even looked at my wife and I said, I think I'm gonna throw up. It wasn't like, a lot of times I'll have a really upset stomach and I have to, I know it's coming, but this wasn't that way at all. At the beginning of the flight was just, effortless. So right after I thought that I was going to throw up, I did start to throw up. They got me a sickness bag, air sickness bag, which I used to make fun of those all the time, And then here I am, first time ever in all my years of flying that I was throwing up on a plane. And I didn't just throw up a little bit. I threw up like 4 bags. It's weird when you're throwing up. Normally you're hanging over a toilet and your body's kind of horizontal and the throw up can just come right out. But in this case here, I was sitting up and it was in one of these airline chairs where I couldn't lean over. So I was sitting up, throwing up almost straight out. And then on the second bag, I just happened to look down in there and it appeared to be full of blood. So I was a little shocked. My wife right away, she's very smart about stuff. She took a picture of it. And I never really wanted to see that picture. But it was good that she did it because of what happened next. So then I had to make it through that last 10 minutes of flight. And we got to the airport in Las Vegas. I barely had enough energy to get off of the ramp from the airplane to the airport. And when I got off, initially I was thinking I was going to go to the bathroom. Might have to throw up some more, but there's no way I was even going to make it to the bathroom. I got to the first chair right outside of the ramp, and I had to plop myself down. I was so weak and tired, and it was amazing to me because I've never felt that way. So Southwest Airlines was really good about, being good with me and telling my wife, what was going on. She was telling them we have to make a connecting flight, and they were like, "Oh no, he's not getting back on the airplane. You can't get on the airplane if you're throwing up." Makes sense. So I sat there for a while, and then I continued to throw up. So Southwest called an ambulance, which obviously as a guy, I did not want to have an ambulance. And the guys got there. By the time they got there, I was really glad that they had called an ambulance because I was so weak, I couldn't even really, felt like I couldn't hold my head up. So the guys came in and they started checking me and obvious things like I'm having a heart attack or, what's going on. And I really had no explanation other than that I'm just throwing up. So they got me onto a gurney. And what's weird is I don't remember getting on the gurney. I don't remember going through the airport. I have like little glimpses of people maybe looking at me like, "Ooh, what the heck's going on with that guy?" And I was that guy this time. So they got me through the airport, took me out through a secret way where I could get out to the ambulance, and then got me into the ambulance. I don't even remember what the timeline was on the ambulance. I couldn't say if it was 5 minutes or 15 minutes. It felt like 5 minutes to me. As we started to drive, they gave me medication for my nausea. And it started to help me almost immediately when they gave it to me. And they said my oxygen levels were really low. They were at 83, but they might have been even lower prior to that. So I knew that was a big deal. But prior to them giving me the medication, it felt like I was just spiraling out of control. I was just going down, down, down. Probably the closest that I felt to like, I'm not going to make this. And so we're in the ambulance, we're coming around to the emergency room. And a funny side note of something that happened was as we were driving up to the emergency room, I looked out on the emergency, where you enter into the emergency, and I even commented to my wife. I said, "Isn't this the hospital where my sister died? She had died 7 years ago in Las Vegas at that hospital. I had never been there before, and I had never been there after. I had no intention of ever going to that particular hospital. And here I was in the same emergency room that my sister was in 7 years prior." She had ended up dying from cancer, ovarian cancer. And she was in the last stages. And when they transferred her to that hospital, and we all flew down because we knew how serious it was kind of good to see my sister being so irritated. She said, "I don't know why you guys are coming down here. I'm not going to die or anything." But my wife kind of knew better that we needed to get a flight. We needed to get down there. And so even though she felt that way, by later that evening, she had passed away in that hospital. So not a lot of good feelings about that. And then to have me drive up to it, it was really weird. It was shocking. So I went in. They did a lot of medical tests. In fact, they were testing me all the time and giving them a detail of what was going on with me. What we kind of come to find out is that this could have been a very strong reaction to Ozempic, because I had previous problems with it 2 previous times that I took the injection. And what I was kind of told is that Ozempic, the reason you lose weight is it slows down your digestive system. In some cases, it can even stop it. And then you need to have medication to get your digestive system going. So that's kind of what they were giving me. And when your digestive system slows down that much, you're just not hungry. And that's why you're able to have the weight loss with really wasn't trying at all to lose weight. Just lost 25 pounds. So they had to get my system started back up. They said I was severely dehydrated and I had aspirated some of the vomit into my lungs. So I was slightly septic. And so they're giving me all the medications for that. And I really, at this point, I felt a lot better. I was ready to leave. But I wasn't able to leave for 2 days. So I was in the hospital for 2 days there. They were really trying to bring me back. They're doing lab results and they were trying to wait for certain things like my calcium, I think, to go down. And then about this time, during that time, my wife was really stressing about the Ozempic because she's not crazy about me taking Ozempic, even though I do like it because I don't have to take as much metformin and I can continue to lose weight. And so, in talking to the doctor, and then when we got back to Sacramento, where I'm from, my doctor kind of said the same things. You have these reactions every once in a while in people, and I'm just one of the people that ended up having this reaction. So my wife says, you're banned from taking Ozempic. So I always think, well, you're not the boss of me. That's what my first reaction is. But then when I asked the doctor, he said, yeah, you're pretty much banned from using Ozempic. We're not going to take any more risks. So I never got a chance to try it out again. Never got a chance to use it. I know that my hunger has come back, but I've managed to stay within a certain range, so I'm not going crazy. But and I'm back on metformin, and actually my digestive system has come back so that I'm very regular. So I think it was the best thing for me. Like I said, I'm not a doctor. I don't know anything about any of this. I thought it was safe. But apparently for me, there were some issues with it. And I always tell people, I'm just lucky that way. When things happen like that, I'm just lucky. So even with my face, sometimes you can notice that I have a slant to one of my sides. And some people have thought I was a stroke victim. You know, that's a stroke. But it's actually Bell's palsy. It's an inflammation of the tubes where your nerves go through to your face. And most people that have Bell's palsy, a lot of military that get stationed in, you know, like Afghanistan or something, will come down with Bell's palsy, this inflammation. But it'll only last for about 9 months, 6 to 9 months, then their face goes back to normal. Well, I've had Bell's palsy for 15 years. And again, all I can say is I'm just lucky that way. It definitely makes it difficult in sales. You know, I think it's, you want to not have any kind of abnormalities. And I've had kids come up to me, even customers' kids, and ask me, what's wrong with your face? So they just, they don't mean anything bad from it. They're just observant, and there's no filter. So Ozempic is falling into that realm too of what I can and can't do. And so I guess I won't be doing Ozempic anymore. I'm back on to metformin. Thanks for listening. Thanks for letting me share. And I hope everybody has a great day. Thank you much. Bye-bye.